The Belleville Area District Library Board is now called to order. And we will, we don't have it, so we're dispensing with the pledge, although we are all patriots here. And I have an opening statement to make, which is I want to commend my 4 library board colleagues who were just reelected in the past week, and that is Trustee Jariga, Trustee Studemeyer, Trustee Chehevitz, and Trustee Hughes Grubbs. Our team stays together. Thank you for all your work to do that, and we will enjoy the work of finishing the many projects we have started. And with that, I will call on Alma to call the roll.
Chehevitz? Here. Jariga?
Present.
Priest?
Present.
Peters?
Present.
Stoudemire?
Here.
Hughes Grubbs? Here. Mary Jane Johnson?
Absent. We're expecting that she will be here. I've not heard anything from her. Oh, here. No, that's not.
She's not. She knows it's
That's not her. So we'll expect to see her at any time. So now we are to the agenda, and we don't need a roll call vote.
No.
We don't
It
need.
does say it,
Oh.
but we don't need it.
We don't have to have these.
I forgot
roll-
to take that off.
Yeah, we don't need these roll call votes, but we do need a motion about the agenda.
So moved.
It's moved by Jariga,
Second. Oh, go ahead, Tanya.
supported by Studemeyer, that the agenda be approved. Are there any comments or questions or additions to the agenda before we vote? Seeing none, all those in favor of the approval of the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed signify by saying no. The ayes have it with no dissenting votes. Now we move on to approval of the minutes from the October 13th regular meeting. And you all have the minutes in your packet. A motion is in order at this time.
I motion to approve the minutes as written.
Moved by Priest and supported by
I'll second that.
Jariga. The minutes are, the motion to approve the minutes is appropriately made. Are there any comments or corrections to the minutes? You do, Alma?
Yes, just on here it has approved September 8th.
What
It's
now?
in my packet.
This October 3rd, where does it say September 8th?
Number 3.
Oh, approved. That was because in October we approved the September minutes.
Okay.
So now we're approving the October minutes. So that's right. We approved the September minutes in October. So yeah, that was appropriate. So all those in favor of approval of the minutes, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by saying no. Hearing none, the minutes are approved with no dissenting votes. We have an item that we have to do every year, and that's public comments come first. Okay, I'm sorry, I want to go to item 4, which is public comments. I don't see any public. So I think that we keep going to item 5, which is the MERS defined contribution addendum. And you have it in your packet. It's a rather full, several pages.
This looks a lot scarier than it is. Basically, MERS is requiring all municipalities to update them on our plans. And basically, we are not making any changes to our plan, so we are calculating defined contribution retirement for our full-time employees based upon their gross wages. So we've checked off the gross wages box on page 4. But they require a board resolution to approve this.
What is the due date?
I want to say it's at the end of November.
Do you need a packet?
Do you need a paper
No, I
packet?
have it here.
Okay.
Oh, good, we have some right there if you want it. So this is a perfunctory item that we need to do. Who has to sign it when it's done? Do I do?
I think you need
I
to.
do, okay, and can I sign it tonight?
We have to do it electronically. We could try to do it tonight or tomorrow.
No, don't worry about it tonight, we can do it later in the week, whatever. But we do need a motion and.
Make a motion to approve the defined contribution plan.
I'll second that.
Moved by Chavez and supported by Jariga that we approve the MERS defined contribution addendum.
Madam Chair, the last page, it says, I understand that approved board minutes are required to complete this request.
So we have to have minutes from this meeting that's approved board minutes.
Yeah.
So does that mean we have to wait till next month?
We can send this in now. Once we get the approved minutes, I send those to a different email address.
Oh, okay.
So, it's okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, we do want to make sure our employees' retirement system is, everything is in order. That's a good question. Any others, any other finding, any other silly thing in here? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by saying no. The ayes have it with no dissenting votes. So we're moving along. Tanya was real surprised at us last month because we got finished so quick that she couldn't even join us from whatever work thing she had to do. So we might break our record tonight, Tanya, I don't know. Oh, well, actually, we have some things that we'll want your comments on. Do we want to talk about these in the finance?
You can wait till finance.
Okay, so we can move on to the committee reports. And we will start with the building committee.
Well, I guess I'm gonna say things that you already know probably. Landscape is complete. Asphalt's been top coated and striped. Fence panels will be picked up. Oh yeah, they're gone. Not sure where there's storm sewer tubes that poked up. Where is that right now?
Would you repeat that, please?
The storm sewer tubes that they were going to.
Those top hat.
Yeah.
They're really not necessary, so it's, I believe he's gonna
pull them
eliminate
out.
them.
Okay,
Oh, good.
I didn't know if they had them pulled up. That would, and he saved us money by that.
Yeah.
Like 35, no, I'm sorry.
20, I thought it was
We made it for $20,000.
$20,000. Let's say.
No, we had authorized 10K and he said it would be about 4,500.
Oh.
Yeah. Is Comcast off of that pole?
Pardon me?
Is Comcast off? There's one pole
No,
here we're
no,
trying to
no.
get down because Comcast has to get off of it.
There's still the poles.
They-
Some of
did-
us out this week working on it, but I don't know where they're at.
So right now, when you go in the alley, you'll see that there are 2 poles that are in the way of some of the parking spaces that have been striped. There's 3 poles that have to be taken out, but there's 2 that are in the way of parking. But they'll eventually go when, is it Comcast, you said? Comcast
Yeah,
does
the
get
last
their
one.
wires off.
The new boiler is installed, everything last week was finished except for the power. And it was supposed to be able to start this week. Has it been able to start? You haven't really needed it probably. It's
Yeah.
so warm.
The person that does the temperature controls was in yesterday, so.
Okay. We're going to adjust the HVAC system to bring in more outside air due to COVID. There were a couple little things. They were working on exterior Wi-Fi to make it stronger in the front of the building and in the terrace. And they're gonna add a few more mailboxes because they need more. An
That's for
electrician.
staff.
For staff, yes. Electrician was coming to see to get the, as Dean calls it, the MRI lighting work, the children's entrance. I don't, did they come in and fix that?
Tomorrow,
No, okay.
Tomorrow we're closed. Oh, but they might come.
they might, I think, he will be here.
I put, needs a car installed. I think it was a card. They were going to get posts for the vegetative roof portions. So they can get that roof safety system in. And the boiler room is really hot with the new, I guess with the additional boiler, and we're going to figure out how to channel some of that heat into the building. There was some discussion about different things to make the building more virus-free, and one of them is humidification. They are going to get a bid on all of this stuff. So humidification lets the droplets shrink faster. If it's too dry, they sort of stay in the air more. I say shrink, that's not what I mean. They go down, they land on the ground. Ventilation is another one of those things. So they could bring up to 40% more outside air, but code requires no more than 30% outside air. But we can increase that from where we are now.
Here she is, Miss America.
Hi.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
And then the other thing that we're gonna get a quote on is, it's called bipolar ionization, which is something that gets attached into the HVAC venting close to, I think my understanding is it's close to the blowers, and it sends out ions that are positive and negative. That's the bipolar part, which attach to atoms in the air, and it could be virus, it could be smells, it can be dust. It's not a new thing. It's been around about 20 years. Our library is looking at it. The Ipsy library is looking at it too. But it makes those particles bigger, and then they're much easier to filter. They've been using this for a long time in, areas where they're doing research, and they need those whatever they're researching not to be in the air. They do it in clean rooms when they're building electronics, I read somewhere. So we're gonna get some quotes on that. Dan has already put that in his own office. So we're gonna get a quote on that to see what the cost would be.
Can I comment in a second?
Yes.
This ionization, bipolar ionization, one of the things that has turned out to be beneficial is that, if you could call anything about COVID beneficial, but because of that, because we're still finishing our system, we may be able to move further ahead and cutting edge in terms of air quality in our buildings, which will be important no matter what, even without COVID. It'll be important for the health and safety of our staff and our patrons.
This isn't gonna be the last one.
Right, there'll be other things, there's flu season every year and all kinds of things. And that bipolar ionization and the other issues we're looking into will be really helpful for that.
And I think that's it for that meeting.
It is, we did have one other thing. I've been working with Mary Jo a lot on signage.
Yes.
A lot of the signage issues have been issues that were related to the fund development, which I had headed up. And so we're acknowledging people that had donated for various things, and we're moving along quite well. And we've got final drafts, just came in yesterday about the donor wall and a lot of the other signs. But the sign that I wanted to bring to the attention of the entire board is the dedication plaque. And there will be a dedication plaque, probably cast iron, one of those, whatever. Brass plaques that go for the building. And it'll be a 2020 dedication, you know, our stone, our cornerstone is 2020. And this dedication plaque will list our architect, our basically the people that are the entities that are represented in the building committee, our architect, our construction manager, and our library. And we talked about it in the building committee because we wanted to talk about it with the whole board. And it's recommended that we would list the library by listing our director and then the members of our 2020 board, which are the sitting members right now. And of course, when we were talking about it last Tuesday, there was still the election up there, but now we know that the sitting members right now will be the sitting members next year. But anyway, those would be the ones listed. John brought up that he would like to see a designation, kind of like an asterisk or something, to designate the building committee, because the building committee has spent a lot of time, a lot of extra time in looking at this issue. And I thought about that. I would like to have designation for the chair as well, because there's been a lot of extra things in addition to the building committee, which I've attended most of. There's been a lot of extra things that over the course of the time to get the proposal and the millage and the going back and forth to the city of Belleville. Various things that I've been doing over the years. So, but we wanted the whole board to be aware of this, you know, so that you won't, when you walk in. You know, the big plan was all this would have been done in July when we had the big gala opening, but it will reflect our board and it will reflect this building. So that was an item that came up in the building committee and that we wanted to just discuss and make sure you're all aware of. I don't know, is there something else, Mary Jane?
So instead of having an asterisk, could we have like a 2 or 3 carat marquee diamond?
Well, and then John can, yeah, the number of hours. I'm telling you, that would be appropriate. Well, we're, you know, all of us have worked really hard for this new library. And all of us, you know, just to work to be elected, to do all the things that you have to do to be a board member. But boy, this is really special. And it's the kind of thing that rarely happens to people. You rarely get a chance to build a building, and unless it's a library, a district library that's independent and has its own board, it's not likely that a lot of places are gonna get new libraries built, so we're fortunate, the timing has been wonderful, and it will be a great thing to celebrate probably next year, and I think, we already discussed that we want to do it when we won't have to wear masks and when we won't have to be 6 feet apart and sitting at our own table. But I think the dedication plaque is a really important, all these pieces that we've been working on so hard are really important, and I sure learned a lot about building, going to all these building committee meetings. I really appreciate the effort, and I appreciate this team. I can't tell you how good it is to have such a good group of people to work with. So,
Under
John?
building committee, since the weather's gonna break tonight, it's gonna get cold, I figured it'd be a good time for me to come in today and go on top of the roof and check out where the bees are gonna go in April. Because it's gonna get mighty cold up there. So I asked Mary Jo, I asked permission, can I go on your roof? She says, I want to go with you. And then Hillary heard, she says, can I go too? So we all went on the roof. It was beautiful up there. And to see exactly, make sure they laid out exactly where the beehives are gonna go. So,
what time did you go up there today?
pardon me?
What time of the day?
I don't
It's
know.
in the afternoon, I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I don't,
It was probably really warm.
probably
huh?
two,
I bet it
after
was
2, yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was lovely. So it's all set.
Good. You have anything to say, Miss B?
No? It's a good spot with some windbreak in there.
Yeah,
I
Right?
mean, I think it was.
yeah.
It's
Sun,
gonna have the best sun and the best windbreak.
Yep.
Where we were talking about it.
Yep.
I haven't been there.
Yeah.
It's gonna get cold. I haven't paid attention.
Yeah, tonight, and then, well, it'll be 20 degrees colder tomorrow than it was today, and then it's gonna stay in the 50s and 40s, and then, anyway. We all know the drill, what happens in the fall in Michigan. So, anything else on building committee? Any questions, comments? Okey dokey, then we move to the bylaws committee.
I have nothing.
No report. Finance committee, I am flanked by the treasurer and the finance committee chair, but we might all defer to the director to talk us through this budget, and I'm interested in what everybody has to say.
So in your packet, there are 2 budget comparison schedules. The first one is the year-end schedule. So at the top, it says for the 12 months that ended June 30th, 2020. So starting at the top of the revenues, if you look kind of halfway through the page, you'll see that our budgeted number was the $2,062,800. John, you good? You good?
Where are we again?
We're on the 12-month schedule.
Okay.
So there are 2 in your packet.
Right.
So there's a first quarter one and a 12-month one. So I was going to start off with the 12-month schedule.
Okay.
So the revenues for the budget were $2,062,800, and you'll see that we ended up ahead of budget. Our revenues are $71,653 over budget. This is mainly due to the income taxes being more than we had originally budgeted. And going down and looking at our expenditures, if you look at total salaries, you'll see that the budget was $760,000, our actual $705,000, so we're $54,000 better than budget there. And going to the next page, and I'm just kind of pointing out where the larger variances are. You go to the next page, close to the center, you'll see total contracted services. This includes payroll system and outside maintenance. And here you'll see a favorable balance of $27,526. And then at the bottom of the page, you'll see that we also did better than budget for our hardware and software and other computer repair maintenance as well. well.
Hmm.
And it's not until you get to the last page that you'll see the budget for our total expenditures is the 1,897,300. And we actually are below budget by almost $300,000. So
Whoopee.
overall, we did really well. And I don't know if some of this, Mary Jo, is tied to COVID, you know, and, you know, we just didn't have.
A lot of
the
it was
same-
tied to COVID
That's
and the
what I
building
figured.
being closed.
Yeah.
We're still kind of growing into the new budget, so we're not fully staffed yet.
Yeah, the cleaning probably wasn't as
Right,
much. and-
Right, so they're letting
Plumbing,
out.
Travel.
That's why the
utilities.
contracted services was
Miscellaneous,
down,
yeah.
yeah.
I love how you walk us through these things, Tanya. You do sound like a budget director.
Should I know?
Right now, you should sound like one.
So the second schedule is for the first quarter of this fiscal year. So the header says for the 3 months that ended September 30th, 2020. And here you will see, looking again at our revenues, our 2021 budget is the $2,031,400. Now, the great thing that you all do here with the budget, which I love, is you show what the 3-month budget is so that we can do a 3-month comparison so people are trying to do the math in their head. So what we show here is the 3-month budget is the 507,850, but our actual revenue collections are the 527,278. So for the first quarter of this fiscal year, we're 19,428 better than budget.
Good.
Wow.
That's because of state aid. What, state aid variance?
Well, right now, the taxes are estimated because we haven't started collecting them yet. So we'll start getting a better picture of that in January, February.
So that
We are receiving
actual-
state aid though, which I had kind of zeroed out because I just wasn't sure what was going to happen with all of the
Okay,
COVID mayhem and the state budget.
so the 3-month actual for taxes is not, that's not real.
It's not real, but
Okay.
our accountant puts it in that way so that it doesn't look like we're $500,000 under budget.
Then below that, you'll see our expenditures. So again, you'll see that the annual budget is the $910,000 for salaries. The 3-month budget is the $227,500. Our 3-month actual is $155,522. So we're below the budget by almost $72,000.
Why is that so low? Because everybody's been getting paid during all of this.
I'll have to check and see how many payrolls that is, if it's the,
Yeah, 'cause that's
depending on how the
significant.
payrolls hit. We're not hitting our budgeted numbers yet though, because we're really being conservative on, you know, we've had reduced hours, we've had.
Mhm.
Are we,
Well, that's true.
are we below the staffing level? Are there any positions we anticipated that we didn't fill?
I anticipate filling, possibly filling some more part-time librarian type positions and assistant and clerks as we kind of get into this. It's really hard to tell right now. Everything's been reduced, the amount of programming we're doing, the amount of
Right.
busyness in the
This isn't
building.
a
So
real
it's just
situation. Yeah.
not real yet.
And I think you really see that if you go to the second page and again, look at the middle where we have like total contracted services. And you'll see where the budget amount is the 121 for the year. The 3-month amount is 30,250, but our actual is only 11,793. So we're favorable $18,000 here, and I think that's still COVID related and just because the activities haven't increased to our anticipated levels.
Right.
And if you go to the last page, again, you'll see the overall budget for this fiscal year is the $1,964,100. And then the 3-month budget is the $491,025. Our actual for this first quarter is only 367.85, so we are, again, to the good here. 130,240, and it's just for this first quarter. So overall, of course, you've done an excellent job managing
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
managing our library.
That's a lot of work doing this, isn't it?
Yes, she does a great job.
Wow.
Thank you both, Mary Jo and Tanya. And Joy, that's the finance committee.
I didn't do anything.
Well, that's all right, you signed, you
Check,
said.
check.
I don't know, oh yeah, I did come in.
You did. Good, it's, being good stewards of the dollar is probably the top job that we all as board members have. So being able to be assured that our money is being spent wisely and having everything right here in front of us, transparent, is really very helpful to all of us and has to make us all feel good to have this moving along. So thank you. Now we're to the marketing committee. Alma, is there any report?
Not at this time.
Okey-dokey. I had one thing I wanted to bring up that I think falls in marketing committee. In the course of discussion, and even last year before we were finished in the old library, we've had some talk about redoing our logo for the library. And I wanted to speak to the marketing committee about maybe thinking about it now. It usually takes a little bit of time to come up with what we want to do about a logo, but it might be a nice thing to time to whenever we have a grand opening. So it might be a nice, now that we've got a lot of the stuff that we've been really struggling with over the past months, a lot of the stuff is done. I'm just bringing it up to see whether or not you think that this might be a time that the marketing committee could spearhead, or how, I don't know. I
Well,
want
but
to ask
our
you what you
graphic
think.
designer actually has spent some time looking into it and working on
Is that
some potential
Michelle?
logos, Michelle Mentor, yeah.
Okay, well, maybe when there is something, the marketing committee might be the first group to
Sure.
look at it. Did you have a timeline in mind?
I would like to see it in the next couple, start moving forward on it in the next couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it had occurred to me that I knew that we were thinking about it, and we certainly want to do it before our grand
Oh,
opening.
absolutely.
But if you're ready to start moving within the next couple of months, then good. And it seems that Alma and the committee is Alma and Mary Jane, I think. And then I'll be in that one as ex officio as well. So we'll look forward to that. It'll be. See, they're having a meeting right now.
Yeah.
The other landscape changes that we have.
Yeah,
I think Michelle had talked about it.
Oh, did she?
yeah,
Okay.
the art committee thing.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to talk to her about when the arts committee might want to meet. Didn't she send something out?
She did, but it didn't seem, from what I remember of the email, she didn't think it would be very effective to try and do a Zoom meeting. She was hoping we'd be able to get together in person.
Oh, well, we'll see, these numbers are going up, but if we can still do a few in-person meetings, certainly with this room and this setup where everybody's got their own table and we're sitting a good, and I can hear we can hear each other, right? So,
Yeah, she actually just emailed me today, and I kind of was gonna reply to her and talk to you about it. She would like to have a meeting probably within the next couple of weeks.
and in person.
She wants to revisit the wall hanging system for the art. So.
And I hope that she'll visit the color for the quiet study room because there's been discussion of painting it some color, and I know that the staff that work upstairs would really like a little more color up there. So anyway, we've gotten the marketing committee report and the art committee report here. And now personnel, you'll have something later, but you don't have anything now, do you?
No, Mary Jo, last year I did an evaluation. Am I gonna have to do that this year?
Yeah, I think right now you're the committee.
I'm the committee.
So-
Barbara
so I
was
don't know
on
if
that
if you-
committee.
Right. If you want to
But however,
nominate.
Tanya was on that committee before.
Oh,
so
all right.
I'm
When will that be
stepping
coming,
right
you know?
back into
Usually you do it in
Stepping right back
December.
into it.
December?
You know, that's your prerogative. when you
Okay.
do it.
And just let me know.
So you and Linda and Tanya, you guys.
I'm on my notes from the last.
Pardon?
I said, I have all my notes from the last.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, boy. I tell you, we're a smooth running operation here. And then the policy committee. Mary Jane, do you have anything you wanted to?
I wish I had something to tell you, but I don't.
It's fine. You'll have enough when the time comes. So, good. We are moving along here. Now it's time to spend some money or approve the accounts payable. Approve the money we're spending. And so this is something that normally takes a motion.
I make a motion to approve accounts payable as presented.
We have the motion by Dawson and support, did I hear you?
Oh, I thought Tanya was asking.
China's got a question, but after it's moved and supported, we'll have her question. Are you supporting it, Alma? Thank you. China?
And I just wanted to ask about Zoo Bean. It just had such a
Oh.
cool name. I was just wondering what is. Zoo
Which one
Bean?
was it?
It's, we have a
Zoo
12-month
Bean.
lease.
It's
About 2/3 of the way down.
Yeah.
Zooming.
that's a summer,
Oh, yeah.
summer reading program and, well, you could use it year round, but it's like a summer reading program software.
Yeah, it was just such a cool name. I was
Yeah.
like, what is that?
I've got a question. Do we have petty cash? I don't think I like the idea of Michelle using her own money to buy stamps.
It's, we're reimbursing her, whether we have petty cash or not, we're gonna have to, you know,
Yeah,
so. It works out.
okay.
We have been discussing how to deal with. petty
Okay,
cash.
good. And also, have we gotten a snow removal contract yet?
Weese's were out today to look at to walk everything and take a look at it.
We're just getting
So-
one bid?
So, we're gonna see since they're our current contractor, we're gonna see what they say.
Now, is the city gonna involve it in this at all? I know they're gonna do the alley
They're supposed to
and
do
they're
the
partial
alley.
owners of that.
We're responsible for doing the parking lot. That was part of the agreement with the city.
Rick brought up to me, he had the understanding that he was gonna do the parking lot. He had questions for me.
Really?
So I don't know.
No, that's
No,
not
that
the,
wasn't our
that's not the
plan.
legal agreement.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll go back and look at it again, but I'm pretty sure that we're
I'm sure.
responsible for the upkeep.
it wouldn't,
general-
it wouldn't
yeah.
surprise me if Rick were.
The reason is because we wanted to have it done right,
We want to make sure.
consistently, I guess.
And we
I
don't-
understand.
that's a lot of running back and forth down to the Belleville
Yeah,
folks every
They have a lot,
time.
they have a lot on their hands getting the streets plowed, so.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And it could be, they didn't tell them.
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
lot of things is Rick still part-time? I think he is.
I think he's full-time now.
Oh, is he?
So what I remember is that we do the regular maintenance, but if we have to, do like a capital improvement kind of thing, then we, what's that, 60/40 or something
I
like
believe
that.
you're right.
Talk to them. Yeah. So really, with regard to the parking lot, getting those poles out of there will be our last great thing. But, and you said that the snow removal people came out today?
Yes,
and looked?
yes.
Okay. Any other questions about, accounts payable?
I just have a quick note about the library network. That's, where it says annual delivery charges, that's actually multiple things. So it's delivery, shared automation system, acquisitions, technology services, September book billing, telecommunications. So there's a lot of bills in there.
When you look at the next page, that's the thing when you're signing checks, the capital project fund. So when you get to signing a check that's $230,768.
I think we did a $500,000 check one time.
Yeah,
It's scary when you're doing.
it is. It's kind of it's an experience we likely won't have very often. But it's transparent and we want everybody to see all of this.
Yeah, when you
So
look
we
at your,
actually,
when you look at your.
well, wait a
bill-
minute, we have a motion on the floor, I believe, and I think we did get you've got a maker of the motion and a seconder for accounts payable. So, and we've had a lot of questions. Any other questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? No. We have no dissenting votes, and now we're finished up with that. And our building committee chair wants to talk to us about
Yeah, I just wanted to mention on the request for payment document, you go to the second page, you can see the last row retainage balance, all those zeros mean that those, everything related to the vendors, contractors, all that, it's all gone. So we're getting towards the end of this. We know we retain some money, I can't remember what the percentage is until it's all finished and it's been signed off on. But we're almost done.
Indeed. It's a big experience to go through this. Again, the request for payment for the capital fund is handled through the building committee approvals and sign off by Dan and Mary Jo. But it's always provided to all members of the board, just so that everybody knows what's going on. And now we're to the point of is there any other thing on that, Joy? Then we're to the director's report. It's always fun.
So I really like our parking lot. I never thought I would fall in love with a parking lot, but I'm so happy to see it. And I know our patrons are happy too. It's been kind of hard to have access to the library with the 4th Street project and the parking lot project. So they found it pretty quickly. So I'm really excited about that. This project is winding down. There are a lot of other little odds and ends and details that we will continue to work on probably for some time to come, but the bulk of the project is just about done. I'm going to miss seeing our site, the construction site supervisor, Dean. He's probably in another month. He's not going to be around so much.
Can we have something for him?
I would like to do something for him. Yeah.
He's
been
like a
fantastic.
member of the staff, actually.
I would kidnap him if I could. I would keep him here.
I'll help you.
Okay.
We should.
He has been so phenomenal. It's been,
Mary
yeah.
Jane said that's the only reason we hired him was because of Dean.
You remember I was gone for my grandbaby when you all did the interviews. And when I got back,
It's been a
everybody
dream.
said, and you should see this building, the supervisor,
He
superintendent,
is so good.
superintendent for the
He
project.
is
He's
so
the
good.
one.
Yeah. And he's so patient. He explains everything very well, and he's just been a really good guy.
Really good
so.
natured.
He never rolls his eyes when we ask him.
I know.
He's the way to the question.
He's got a really good sense of humor,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, that
Appreciate it,
that
yeah.
stuck out at me too, that you said that he's gonna be not out here regularly, and I just don't know how we'll function.
I know. Gotta keep finding projects for him to do.
Yeah. So think up things you want to, are all the
So-
little blue tapes gone? Did they fix
No, I
that
keep putting blue
window?
tapes on things too.
Yeah. No, that window is
There are a
still
few
cracked.
cracks, yes,
It's
they
still
still
got
need to
blue
fix
tape.
it, yeah. We just started yesterday, we just started back with our library's regularly scheduled hours, so we are now open our normal Monday through Thursday, 10 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 10 to 6. The branch is open again, its normal hours, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m.
What
So
has
we're just
been
starting to
the-
roll this out and publicize that this week.
What's been the experience at Sumter?
It's been pretty light, so we're hoping to kind of get the word out there. That's such a small building that can't have that many people in there anyway, but,
Yeah.
What's
So-
the capacity?
we could have 6 people total.
That seems like a lot even.
Yeah, that's kind of pushing it, 5 or 6. So, but we're happy to be, kind of as back to as normal as we can possibly be at this point. We're still doing the grab and go service where people come in and get their items and use the computers and leave. The numbers are not looking good right now, so, I'm just not ready to move forward with any.
Owen just closed
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
What just closed?
Owen, the intermediate school, because of cases.
Because they had cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, our library numbers, our utilization numbers are looking good, but the COVID numbers around here are not, so I don't know what we'll end up.
I have done some, I have allowed a couple of the book groups to meet in this room so that I know that they're meeting in a safe way. They're meeting socially distant with masks on and so they're meeting in a restaurant close together. But, depending on how things go, I might have to tell them they need to meet via Zoom. So we'll
There's
see.
probably
We're just
no-
monitoring it, yeah.
You haven't had any in-person youth programs yet, huh?
Yeah, we're not doing any in-person youth programs. That was the only thing we've done.
And I think as a board, we just have to stand ready for the December. Next month is our last meeting of the year, geez.
Yeah.
The December meeting, hopefully we'll be able to hold it just like this one, but if the number, we'll keep watching the numbers.
Keep watching the numbers.
We might have to go back to our Zoom.
What is the number right now? 41.
Well, there were 20 today, so. 20? For Belleville, Van Buren and Sumter.
We had 100 last weekend.
And if they,
4819, just one zip code,
hmm,
96. It's almost
I know
double.
3 of them.
it is disturbing that the numbers are going back up, but that's what they predicted.
Yeah.
Oh, this would be my grandbaby. I'm not gonna try it. There's no way to hang up on a grandbaby.
So, and I'm sorry, I don't have any good articles for you this month. There's some slim pickings. I just couldn't find anything that looked interesting, so we'll try again next month.
Well, you've done remarkably. That's a lot of times it's really quite interesting to get your packet because you can find quite interesting things to look at. Any other items you want to talk about, Mary Jo?
That's it.
Well, with that, we are all the way to trustee comments. And I am going to start today with John.
I'm fine. I have nothing to say.
John.
Believe it or not.
So
Well,
rare.
Once again, congratulations,
Thank you.
John.
Thank you.
Tanya?
I just want to congratulate my colleagues on winning their election, and I know what it's like not to win, so I'm very happy. So congratulations.
And to you too, and thank you for coming back to us.
Oh, yes.
Joy?
I don't have anything except for thanks for everybody's help. You know, I was kind of like, you mean we had the campaign?
Yeah, she
We
did.
really had the campaign.
She really did. But we convinced her, and
I'm glad you did, because I could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to have Tanya back and a non-disrupted board.
Yeah. Linda.
Well, I too want to congratulate you guys. I'm really, really happy you're back, everybody. And it's nice meeting here, and if it's only one time and we have to go back to Zoom, that's okay too, but I'm really glad we got to do this tonight.
It's a refresher, it's a little break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just, I'm not in here as much as most of you, and so to be in here and see how it's going to be is nice. It really gives me something to look forward to when we get back to normal.
Mary Jane.
Well, congratulations to all of you, and Tanya, thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you.
The alternative was scary. I just want to remind everybody, tomorrow is Veterans Day. If you know a veteran or see a veteran, please thank them for their service. And tomorrow at the War Memorial at 11 a.m., there's going to be a short ceremony honoring the local veterans. Each of the names of deceased veterans that were buried out of either Higgerson or Browns are going to be read by Jeff Bush, who's also going to be singing the national anthem at some point in time during the service. I guess I'm next.
Alma.
Okay, we run out of people.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you and congratulations to John, Tanya, and Joy. And special thanks to MJ for taking the lead and getting things organized for the campaign.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate the effort. And
We'll try to
Sharon-
do the same for you.
Not running.
Oh.
We'll have to start thinking what we're gonna do about this.
We didn't know. What are we gonna do about you, MJ?
Yeah, and Sharon.
Well,
thank you.
find somebody, or you could end up with somebody you don't want.
That's true. And Sharon, thank you for your generosity and your commitment. And the letter that you wrote, as well as thank you to Barbara Miller for putting the letter in the Independent.
Thank you. We have had tremendous community support, and we want to keep that going. And we'll give ourselves a break before we start thinking about next campaigning. But it's lovely that we have this kind of group support and have each other's back. And my only comment, I want to piggyback on what Linda said. Mary Jo and I talked about whether or not we could have this meeting in person, and I'm so glad that we're finishing quickly. It's only about 8:30 and we're just about to adjourn. And so there'll be a little bit of time, those of you who don't get in here very often, spend some time just walking through the building. We can go upstairs now and everything. It is beautiful, and it is everything we have been dreaming. So I just really feel very grateful and pleased where we are. And with that, I would call on John Jerica because I think he has a motion to make.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that this meeting be adjourned.
I'll second that motion.
It's supported and it's not debatable. We're adjourned. Yay, us.
You need a clock in here.
Yeah. But
I was looking for the
mine,
clock
it
and a
says
flag,
8.
yeah.